If y'all clickbait, then you already know we are going to be reviewing the Morphe Finish Soft Cloud Light Powders. Super excited to review this with y'all. It's been a very long time that I haven't done any reviews and any PR lately. So this is my first PR from Morphe. Thank you so much, Morphe, sending out this beautiful packaging. I'm super excited to share this review as well as show you how I recreated all this look using all of Morphe's powders. So if y'all want to see how I recreated this review with you guys, just keep on watching and let's get into it. Now, before we get started, we are gonna do a skin prep. As y'all can see, my skin looks very nice, very glowy, but I really haven't put anything on except for my Layers Cucumber toner. It's the best toner as it really does clear up your skin and it brightens up all the dark spots, acne scars that you have. I did in fact use the cucumber. I love the cucumber, and as y'all can see, I am almost out of it. I only have this much left. So that's to let you know that if y'all really want a good creator, influencer that's really gonna hype you up on a really good product that they use themselves or myself, this here is good. And if you want to use my discount code, is down below in the description bar, just so you can get some coins off, so you don't have to be like wasting so much money. Part of this little baby here, we're going to be trying out Miss Hailey Bieber's Road Glazing Milk. I love this. I use this every single day and I love it so much because it really does brighten up the skin and it makes my makeup look so good and it glides on so well. I just love how glowy it looks. One thing is, if you want to try something and you feel like you are scared, especially if you have sensitive skin, I would recommend to try the small one, because that way your skin can determine whether your skin can take it or if it not. But also remember that when you're trying a new skincare product, you have to understand that your skin isn't going to be used to something that you already used to using, because sometimes you're going to have a breakout and that's okay. That's normal. But if the breakout becomes a little bit unusual in places where you don't necessarily break out, like for example, I get some breakouts in the chin rarely, but that's because I've been using other skincare products that my skin just doesn't like. But this one doesn't do that for me. I only had breakouts from previous products, but this one never really broke me out. So I really do like this toner a lot. And as y'all can see, it just makes such a difference. Once that's done, I like to go back, and my hands are clean, so make sure that your hands are clean when you are applying your skincare. And I like to like press everything in. Since I'm not going out, I don't necessarily put SPF, but they say that it's very important to have SPF because especially if you're sensitive, acne prone girly, you really want your acne, your skin to get a lot better and brighten up. I haven't been shaving recently because every time I shave, I always break out. It's just something that my skin does and I hate it. So far, I've been letting my skin heal over time without me having to shave. So this is why my skin has gotten so much better without me always constantly shaving my little peach fuzz. Next step that we're gonna use is my peach slices. I'm just gonna put this under my eyes for the meantime before I start applying anything, because I do want to start working on my eyes first before I do anything else. And this was so cute because they gave me this in PR and I thought it was super cute, and I love their products because their products do brighten up your skin a lot. If y'all want me to do a tutorial on their skincare and how it performs so well on my skin for all my sensitive girl acne prone, let me know down in the comments. But we are just settling this in. To really set my toner in really well before I go in with any creams and any moisturizers. So in the meantime, this is what we're going to be working with. We are going to be using my favorite lip mask at the moment, the Abib. This here is so good, so moisturizing, so yummy. Your lips look so glass-like, glazing. I'm gonna show y'all, like, transparent as y'all can see, but watch how pretty that looks. I'm obsessed. Next thing we're going to be using is my LA Girl Pro Concealer. We're going to use this as a base. We are going to be using a corrector to start off with a base. I just want a really good eyeshadow. I'm just going to add just a little bit of the peach corrector. I love this. Like, this is an OG. Never go wrong with using LA products because I always bought from LA. I remember my first purchase was like one of their powders. Was such a game changer because I didn't know nothing about makeup up until I started going to like beauty supply stores. And when my sister would tell me about LA, I didn't think of it as like something big until I started testing out. The thing that I bought was, I think it was a bronzer or it was a face powder, and I used it and it was such a great investment because it was super affordable and I really liked the coverage on how it looked. Now they probably discontinue it, but it was one of my favorite products that I like from them. So we're gonna be trying out my favorite palette from Morphe, and this is called The Truth or Bare. Y'all know that I just try to keep everything simple, but somehow, somewhere, I'm always using Morphe stuff because it's just that good. So if y'all don't hear me throughout this part of the video, just know because I'm very concentrated when it comes to my eyeshadow, and my eyeshadow is very different compared to other girls' crease line and how their eyes look. I just try my best to take my time because there's multiple times where I feel like I mess up and my eyeshadow just doesn't look right. So if you hear me being quiet, just know I'm super concentrated. Next shade, I'm gonna use this one. They have names on this little plastic thing. I don't know the names to it, so I apologize, but I sometimes don't even like to keep the little plastic. So what I do is I just take some of that color and I'm just going to like wing it and just go back and forth. But I'm not doing like nothing crazy. I really want like a nice soft shadow. And I think it looks really good because look, you could see that color pulling through. Lastly, I'm gonna go in with my favorite color. This eyeshadow right here is one of my favorite because it just gives like this pretty peachy pink color, but it's not so tough at all. And I love using this product because it reminds me of Huda Beauty's eyeshadow palette, like the first one, and she used to have this one shade I was super obsessed with, and till this day I still haven't had the money to purchase it because, let's be honest, it is expensive. And I never thought of buying palettes because during the 2016, back in the era where everybody was doing like all the eyeshadows and all the colors, including myself, we were trying to get all the palettes. Huda was coming out with palettes, but they were just so expensive, and Morphe was just beating them to it with different colors, and it was just so overwhelming. So that is why I never got around to it. I used to see it and tell myself, oh, I'm gonna get it, and I never did. Until this day, I still don't. But that doesn't mean that I won't. That just means maybe, si Dios quiera, I'll end up getting it. But so far, I just prefer using my drugstore because it's pigmented, it works, and you can never go wrong with a Morphe palette. You just can't. And I love going back to these because, believe it or not, I think this palette is way better than Mario Masterpiece. Just saying for some of y'all that wants to come in the comments and say, oh no girl, but in my opinion it really does. And I love a good drugstore palette. I used to be obsessed with this one palette that L'Oreal used to have. Oh, that used to be my OG, and I used to talk about it, but nobody really cared for it because, like I said, there were so many palettes. Lastly, since I really like this look and I don't want to switch it up or anything, this is actually a shimmer shade. I had to learn that the hard way when I started putting it on, and I was like, what the heck is this? So I'm just gonna use this shade here, and it's more like a creamy white. But what I do is I like to press that eyeshadow, and then I slowly like to build that product just in the inner corner just to make it look a little bit clean. And I like doing this, but on camera, whenever I do my reels, this takes forever. So that's why eyeshadows are very important to do off camera. You just got little bits of clips, but here on my YouTube, you get long form. I think that's so good. Good, that looks. Next, we are going to be using EXO Cosmetics. I know I didn't do like a whole tutorial on this, but I do have my reels if you guys want to check it out. I really like this eyeliner from Yvette. Some of her blushes and some of her makeup products I really do like. This one in particular, she came a tip. It's a black eyeliner. Love me a good eyeliner, especially when it comes with like a really good thick line, because I can get in that corner and make me like a pretty wing. But we're only doing my mini wings. We can't do a whole flat out fat wing. We're not doing that. We got to keep it simple, clean, girl, and pretty. Just do this really quick on camera with you guys when I already did a tutorial on this, but if you do want me to do an in-depth tutorial, please comment down and let me know. So I finished doing my eyeliner. I'm not gonna lie, this one looks really good, but I am gonna use a little bit of my concealer, my Dior concealer at the moment. Now that we finish with the top parts of our eyes in the beginning, but we'll do it at the end. We're gonna take these off now, and I'm gonna let my eyes just rest for a few minutes. I don't even know where I left my plastic. And then we're going to do the rest of my skincare and then start off with the powders. Okay, so we're going to be using my favorite barrier cream. This here is like the bougie side of my COSRX barrier cream, but if you want a affordable barrier cream, they have this one that is almost the same, identical to it. It is safe for those sensitive girlies or acne prone girls. This really does give you that moisture back in your skin, and it's so good. My skin feels refreshed, water drinked up in a bottle, and my skin just looks so beautiful, so glowy. But we're gonna be using this little mini size because I'm obsessed with, you know, Rhode's barrier cream, and it does the same thing. They have almost the same consistency, and this one out of the serum I really do like. I like this one better than any skincare, except for the milk. The milk one I really do like, but this one I really like a lot, and it's really worth it in my opinion. So I'm going to just set all this in really quickly. I don't want to compromise my skin like my sister be saying, and let my makeup drink in and just stay radiant without feeling like my skin is creating so much greasiness. Once that's done, we're the Peaches Slices Snail Rescue Eye Gel. This one helps down dark spots, so I've been using this product since last week so far, and it hasn't burned my eyes. That's another thing that I don't like in products under the eyes. Like if it burns, I instantly cannot stand the product because I don't want something to burn my eyes as soon as I apply it. I want it to hydrate, moisturize, and brighten. With this, I started noticing a little bit of a result within that first week, but I still have to continue using it so I can really see the full results in 6 weeks. Now that that is setting, I have my fan on, but I am going to fan away product. I have my fan, but it's charging because it was dead for a couple days and I have not charged it. But I'm just gonna let this dry up and then we'll proceed with the next step. So we're gonna move on, and we're still letting my skin dry up. In the meantime, I'm gonna use my favorite little mini Kosas SPF tinted sunscreen. Yeah, broad spectrum. I've been using this a whole lot, and not to mention that I use like a little bit, but today we're gonna be a little bit extra just because I have some little spots that I want to conceal. And I've been using the Rhode Glazing Milk to mix my tinted foundation, and when I tell you that this looks so good on my skin, Haley was not kidding when she mixed these two products. So one thing I can give credit Miss Bieber is that she knows how to do a really good clean girl, go over. This stuff here is really good. I know I'm putting it on here because I don't have one of those fancy little paddles, but just trust the process. Now that that's done, I'm just gonna use some of my finger and yeah, how it looks on my skin. I'm gonna do one side and then I'll do the next side. So I like to pat in, and I'm using the Verse brush. They also gave me this in PR. I'm obsessed with this brush. This is like my foundation brush. Whenever I want to use something as a foundation, I always use this one. It's like my favorite, and it really gets in those parts. But do you see how good it looks and how it's just covering some of my spots that I want to conceal? And when I use product, I necessarily used to just swipe. Now I press in the product, so all the coverage is sinking into my skin versus me just swiping it and it not doing pretty much anything. And I used to always have that issue, but I'm learning. It's a learning curve that you learn as you grow into makeup. Okay, we finish with that. We're gonna set, and as y'all can see, I still have some of that gel that's still under my eyes, so I'm gonna set that set. In the meantime, we're gonna contour. Like everything we're using today is by Morphe, but Morphe just been coming out with so many good products that I'm obsessed with. And since I'm into that more clean girl aesthetics now, that I'm not like a full coverage girl, I really like when they come out with products that is effortless, but it gets the job done. And I'm gonna use the contour stick. This one is called the Shape Shifter. I got this color because all the other colors were sold out. So mind you, it's a good color. It's not muddy. It's like that perfect shade, and it's a contour. You could use it basically anywhere. It's all over my nose and some parts of my face. So here we go. Now it's time to blend. I'm gonna use my RT200, and I like contouring half where my smile line is, because going down here, like you get like a more sculpted look, but let's be honest, I don't like going down there. I don't like putting contour down there because it's a hack, and I don't like dragging it down here because I know that it makes your face look fat if you don't, and you don't contour down here. But I don't know. I haven't done it a whole lot because it breaks me out. So that's why I just try to avoid going in those certain places. Like for example, I just know how my face is shaped, and I just know what just works best for me and what helps out. So if you have like a shape, or your face shapes looks like mine's, try this hack and then tell me, comment down what you think looks better for you. I mean, honestly, I think I look pretty okay. Now I'm going to do my nose. It's taken me so many years to perfect my nose contour. Until this day, I'm still learning. But I've been doing this technique so far with the Shape Shifter from Morphe, and I'm obsessed. I really do like how I do my nose. I started embracing my nose more, even though some people are like, oh, your nose is a certain way, because I get mean comments sometimes. And at certain points, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna embrace what God gave me, what my ancestors gave me, and I'm not gonna be ashamed of it, because there's a lot of people in this world, in other places, that will kill to have my nose. So I'm not gonna get mad at that. I'm gonna give you a button nose, whoop-de-doo. And now that that's done, we're gonna use again the LA Pro Concealer. I always do this with all my makeup products. Like every time before with anything else, I always conceal. I correct pigmentation under eyes with a corrector because I have dark ojeras. This is the only thing that makes it brighten. I'm gonna use my finger, my ring finger, because normally I use this one fluffy brush from Morphe, but at the moment it's over there in my makeup table, and I don't feel like going to get it. So I'm just gonna use my fingers, and plus the warmth of your fingers always blends a lot quicker in my, but to each its own if you don't want to, but just personally me. But if you don't need to put corrector, you don't have dark circles, skip this step and just go on with your concealer. Now we're gonna use LATHER from Maybelline. I'm gonna use 2 of these concealers. This one is 141. This one's a little bit light, but I just want a little bit of coverage and not too heavy. I use this product. I really do like Maybelline products, and this is another OG of mine that I always go back to because it's just that good. Again, I'm gonna use my fingers. I know. It gets the job done. We're gonna use 130, and where I contour, I'm just gonna do like a little white line right under it. Try to make sure that it's angled. Use my favorite beauty sponge from AOA. This is called the Puff Puff Paw Paw blender. I have my beauty blender damp, so yeah, I'm using this. Normally I use my other. Once that's set, now let's get into the morphe soft cloud light powders. You're not gonna believe me, but I use all these shades. I use one to brighten up my under eyes, I use another for all over my face, I use one to bronze, and I use the other one for eyeshadows. But today we're gonna start off with Sunrise, so we can see how it plays so good all around my face. So let me show you. Also, PR me this beautiful fluffy brush. I am obsessed with these. We're gonna use Sunrise, and I'm gonna put this basically all over my face. For example, I'm putting some where I added a little bit of highlight under my cheeks, around my face. See, you see how soft it looks compared to this side? Like, look at the difference. You see how this is soft and this is just like a wet but dewy? For my oily girls, watch the magic. Saw how that just took away a little bit of the shine, but it's still soft. So I'm just gonna apply this a little bit on top. I don't like to take out too much of my shine, but I'm gonna start off with this shade, which is called Golden Hour, and I'm just gonna set it right above my high cheekbone. Use the Mario brush, and it's super soft and it's not so like in your face. I know that there's other bronzers that literally look crazy looking. I really love that Morphe really did their thing with this, and now I don't have to worry about buying a bronzer because I found the perfect powder for it. I'm also gonna add some on top of my forehead too, so it matches. Leaves my skin so bronzy, like, looks super airbrush. Now I'm gonna go in with Sunset, and I'm just gonna add just a little bit because Sunset, we don't want it to be too heavy. So I just go over it on top bronzer, but I really do like these. Use the rest of the product from Sunset, and I just contour my nose. We're gonna do blush before we go in with that brightening under eye. So I'm gonna use my favorite blush at the moment. It is called Sleepy Girl. I'm just gonna add that right on top where I added the bronzer, and I'm just gonna go over it, ring finger. Perfect. Now I'm gonna use this brush from Morphe because we are now going to brighten, and I love how it's just super soft, so it's not so dense, and it just gets in those areas that I really want my makeup to set and brighten at the same time. This is the shade Dawn, by the way. I'm gonna add Dawn on half of the bridge of my nose and on the tip. I like to add this on my brow bone. It just makes it look so pretty, and it just looks like if I got my brows done. I'm gonna finish off. I'm gonna use Steve Laurent because this is the only blush that I have. If you see this, please send me your amazing blushes. I've seen so many. I've been obsessed, but I haven't been able to purchase them. But the EXO. I cut these, by the way. This is called Unbother. We're gonna use also Yvette's glue to glue them on. So I'm gonna do that off camera and then I'll be back. It's the bottom lashes from Yvette's mascara. She's Drama, and I don't necessarily a long time that I had use my brown eyeliner from Wet n Wild, the Rhode Balance Peptide Lip Shape. That EXO Cosmetic liner in the shade Date Night. This with Jelly Bean. Use a little bit of some concealer. The Glazing Mist. So this is the final look. Morphe really did their thing with this. Whoever was in charge of creating these, you did such an amazing job. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys got to enjoy. And before I go, if you're not new to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Cristina. And for those of you that are returning followers, welcome back to my channel. I just want to leave it off there. If you guys love any of the powders or the pieces or anything in particular, please comment down and let me know your thoughts. Anyways, I gotta go. So thanks for watching. Muchos besitos. Bendiga y adios.